Hey guys, welcome back to this place, and if you are new, then welcome here for the very first time. I am Carmen, and this is...
I'm Calvin.
So nonchalant. Anyway, we are watching Season 1, Episode 16 of Avatar: The Last Airbender. We are in the final stretch of episodes for Season 1, which is kind of crazy. It doesn't feel like we've been watching the show that long. But it also feels like we've been watching it for a really long time because we missed a few weeks. But anyway, in the last episode, we met Bato of the Water Tribe. Mm-hmm. We had some...
A friend of their father's.
Yeah, we had some of Aang feeling like an outsider to Katara and Sokka. And then we had, some bonding and some found family cute moments with all of them sort of realizing where they need to be at this moment. We had June, I believe was her name, and she was, a bounty hunter. She was being badass. She was unwittingly kind of, sorry, baby. She was unwittingly seducing Uncle Iroh just with her existence.
She really wasn't seducing anybody.
Well, I said unwittingly. Yeah, and that's pretty much where we left off. Aang, Sokka, and Katara are back on their way to the... I know what's the Water Tribe, but which one is it?
Northern Water Tribe.
Northern Water Tribe. To, further Aang's learning, and... yeah, that's kind of it. So let's just get into it and see what happens in this episode.
Mm-hmm.
Fire Nation cultural exhibits, jugglers, benders, magicians.
I mean, should we go
this would be
there?
a great place for me to study some real firebenders. Hey,
Oh,
a poster
yeah.
of me.
A wanted poster.
Mm-hmm.
This is bad.
I guess we could go check it out.
What? You
What?
want to walk
This
into a
isn't
Fire Nation
smart,
town
yeah.
where they're all fired up with all their, fire?
Fire.
We'll wear disguises.
Because we always leave before we get into trouble.
Yeah.
You guys
I mean,
stay out of sight here while we go to the
I
festival.
was gonna say, Appa can't really come. That's gonna be too conspicuous. Oh, you're hun, you're not hiding.
Where are we gonna get masks like that?
Get your genuine Fire Festival masks here.
That was
Hey.
surprisingly easy.
Merchandising. That fits.
More accurate.
Yep.
Yeah.
Flaming Fireflakes. Best in town.
I'll take them.
It's gonna be really spicy. Yeah.
Flaming fire flakes. Hot.
Don't worry, loyal citizens. No one can surprise the Fire Lord.
Oh
So teaching them that earthbenders are bad.
Vilification.
How about you, little lady?
Oh gosh.
Oh, she's shy. Let's give her some encouragement, folks. Who will be my captured princess?
All right, that's a bit creepy. Oh, that's cool how he makes it look like a dragon.
Don't worry, young maiden. I will tame this fiery beast. It's too strong. I can't hold it.
We gotta help her.
No, we don't want to make a
It's
scene.
just part of the act,
Rope,
right?
It's breaking.
You.
Idiot.
Hey,
Yeah.
you trying to upstage me, kid?
Literally, look, your whole face is showing with your little tattoo and everything.
Follow me. I can get you out of here.
There they are!
Why are we waiting? There should have been no hesitation there, honestly.
I hope we can really hear that bison whistle.
Fireworks. Ooh, use the Appa. Ooh, there he goes with his tail again. Oh, all the fireworks, right? Yeah. Oh, Appa, you got something on your tail. Okay.
Zhang the deserter.
Oh,
He was
okay.
a Fire Nation general. But wait, was he an admiral?
He was very highly ranked. We get it.
Yeah, way up there. He's the first person ever to leave the army and live. I'm the second, but you don't get to be a legend for that. That's okay.
It's true.
Zhang's a firebending genius.
Yeah.
Some say he's mad.
It can't hurt just to talk to him.
That's what you said about going to the festival. Why doesn't anyone ever listen to me?
Oh gosh. They should listen to Sokka sometimes. Though.
Sometimes.
Not all the time, for sure.
Not all the time.
Why won't he see me?
He says you're not ready. Says you haven't mastered waterbending and earthbending yet.
Wait, how does he know that?
He saw the way you walked into camp. He can tell.
I'm going in anyway.
Get out.
I need to learn firebending.
Only a fool seeks his own destruction.
I'm the Avatar. It's my destiny to...
Destiny? What would a boy know of destiny?
Ah, it's that
A
guy.
fish lives its whole life in this river. Does he know the river's destiny? To master the bending disciplines, you must first master discipline itself. But you have no interest in this, so I have no interest in you. Now, get out.
Please, I have to learn.
Before learning firebending, you must learn water and earth. Fire is alive. It breathes, it grows. Without the bender, a rock will not throw itself. Fire will spread and destroy everything in its path if one does not have the will to control it. That is its
he's not wrong.
destiny. You are not ready. You are too weak.
You think I am weak?
Avatar Roku. No, I did not mean that.
I have mastered the elements 1,000 times in 1,000 lifetimes. You will teach the Avatar firebending.
Yes. I will teach you.
Really? That's great.
Widen your stance. Wider.
Squat.
Bend your knees. Now concentrate. Feel the heat of the sun. It is the greatest source of fire, yet it is in complete balance with nature.
Are we coming up here so I don't burn anything with my fire blasts?
No fire yet.
What?
Assume your stance. Wider.
You're not even looking.
Wider! Now inhale through the nose and exhale through the mouth, without talking. Good. Keep going. I did not tell you to stop.
I've been breathing for hours.
You want to stop breathing?
I want you to stop wasting my time. I already know how to squat and breathe and feel the sun. I want to know how to shoot fire out of my fingertips.
Patience.
I thought about what you said. I promise I'll be more patient.
We are going to work with fire now.
Oh, yeah! I mean, let us begin.
I want you to keep this flame from reaching the edges of the leaf for as long as you can.
Master, there is trouble.
What's going on?
Concentrate on your leaf.
This is the worst firebending instruction ever. All he does is leave me alone for hours to concentrate or breathe.
I'm sure there's a good reason.
I did it! I made fire!
But that's not what you were
It's great, but
supposed to do.
You should take it slow.
Look!
Careful!
Ah! Now that's firebending.
Aang, you'll hurt yourself.
You didn't burn that guy's house down, didn't we? Oh, he hurt her.
I'm so sorry!
Katara, what's wrong? What did you do?
It was an accident. I was... Katara, I'm so...
I told you we shouldn't mess around with this. Look what you did.
This is why you need to be patient.
He's literally playing with fire.
Yeah. Don't put it in the water. That doesn't help. That doesn't help. That doesn't help.
It soothes it.
Yeah, but as soon as she takes it out, it's gonna hurt it again. Wait, what?
You have healing abilities. The great benders of the water tribe.
What? How did
sometimes
she
have
do
this
that?
ability. I
She has
always
healing?
wished I were blessed like you. Fire brings only destruction and pain. It forces those of us burdened with its care to walk a razor's edge between humanity and savagery. Go get your friends and flee!
Damn.
Yeah, master.
My old teacher gave up fighting a long time ago.
So that's the shooting he was talking about. That's what I thought.
I'm never gonna firebend again.
You'll have to eventually.
No, never again.
It's okay, Aang. I'm healed.
What? How?
I'll explain later.
Because I'm
Right
badass.
now, we have to get out of here. Zhao and his soldiers are attacking.
You were once so great.
He still
I
is.
can't believe my former master has become nothing more than a simple savage.
It is you who have embraced savagery, Zhao.
It's Admiral Zhao now.
That
Admiral
title will not
asshole.
help you against the Avatar.
It's a trick. He's run off into the woods.
Burning the forest.
Self-control.
Mm-hmm.
Stand and fight, Avatar.
Oh, were we fighting? I thought you were just getting warmed up.
I was.
Man, they'll make anyone an admiral these days.
Get him to burn his own ship. Well, yeah, he's got. The ship is made of some parts of wood.
I'm Admiral Zhao.
He's so egotistical that, like, he's getting upset by this, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Which, of course, works in Aang's favor. But
Nowhere to run now, you little smart mouth.
You've lost this battle.
Are you crazy? You
You're
haven't
burning
thrown a
your
single
ships.
blow.
No, but you have.
yeah, all your ships are gone, idiot. Like,
Zhang said you had no restraints.
they had a contingency plan, probably. Well, except for this guy.
Hey, where'd everybody go? Hey, guys.
He's a bit slow.
Yeah. He's like the stoner behind the dumpster or whatever.
Yeah, where'd you guys
What's
go?
going on?
Aang, you're burned.
She can heal you.
Let me help you.
She'll be like, mm-hmm.
Wow, that's good water.
When did you learn how to do that?
I guess I always knew.
Okay, so I think the coolest thing about this episode was that Katara can heal through water. Like, that's obviously this huge revelation. I didn't know that that was possible. I don't know if it's been briefly mentioned in the past that it was a possibility that some waterbenders could do. But I think
We haven't really seen many waterbenders.
Yeah, that's true. I think it's really cool, and I like the idea that fire is this destructive force that needs to be, like, controlled, and water is this life-giving force, right? You know, like, water is necessary for life. And so I think it's kind
it
of
brings
cool.
life to the oasis of the desert, you know.
Yeah,
It-
and humans, you know, we need it to survive. And so I like that it also is this healing force. Like, I think it's really cool how it's, like, the opposite of fire in kind of every way. Like, fire is destruction, and water
fire is hot, water is
healing.
cool.
Yeah. The master, how it makes sense how he was telling Aang, you need to learn water bending and earth bending before fire bending, because fire is the most difficult to control. You need to have the control of knowing you can do air, water, and earth first, because fire should be, at least it seemed to me what he was saying, is like, fire should be your last resort. Like, you shouldn't use it willy-nilly, kind of, right? Like, you shouldn't just go to fire immediately, because it takes a lot of control and effort to control it, which I think is really interesting. And we've seen firebenders before, obviously. You know, we've seen Zuko bend a lot of fire, and he hasn't really caused anywhere near the kind of destruction that Zhao was causing, which to me says that he's much more in control of his firebending, which
Yeah. Well, I
is
mean,
interesting because he's
you
so much
saw
younger.
an Agni Kai between those two characters, and
Mm-hmm.
which one came out on top?
Yeah, exactly. Which isn't surprising. Like, I feel like Zhao is, I mean, he is. He's like, in a way, he's like the stereotypical kind of bad guy, right? Like, he's out of control. He's, you know, rash. He doesn't think things through. Like, that's why Aang, even though Aang can be all of those things as well, kind of rash, doesn't always think things through and everything. It's why he's able to beat him, because even though Aang can be that way, he also has the ability to stop and think. Like, when he, like, even though Aang can be frustrating, like, he was a little frustrating in this episode, I think that what makes them a lot different, I mean, lots of things, but is the fact that when presented with things he's done wrong or ways that he's not doing the best that he could do, Aang does stop and reflect and try to change that, you know? Like, he acts like a kid in the way that, like, ugh, I don't want to do all this, you know, stuff. Like, I don't want to have to breathe first. I don't want to have to do this. I don't want to have to worry about this. Like, even when he's told, like, stop the leaf from burning, he doesn't. He's like, wait, if I concentrate, could I, like, make this flame bigger? You know, he doesn't listen because he doesn't...
He's accustomed to being the best at airbending, and from what he's seen, the best at waterbending.
So he just thinks,
you know, this is boring. I want to get to the good stuff, you know?
Yeah.
And it takes a lot more discipline than that. And
yeah.
If we've seen anything from Aang, it's that he has very little discipline.
Mm-hmm. And I think he has also the arrogance of youth, you know?
He has the arrogance of youth,
when you
and
think
also,
that
like,
you know better than the people that are trying to teach you.
He has... It's also a little bit of, like, a prodigy's arrogance, too.
Yeah.
It's like assuming that, you know, if I just go through all the lessons as fast as I can, then I'll know everything there is to know.
Yeah.
Without mastering the lessons beforehand.
Yeah, exactly.
He knows now how dangerous firebending is, and he sees it as a weapon, like, almost every day. You know, he doesn't want to allow himself to use firebending as a weapon the same way.
Like, yeah, I think that he realizes that it is going to require something of him that he doesn't possess at this moment, you know? And, like, yeah, he said, like, I'm going to, like, never do it again. But Katara, you know, being a little bit older and a little bit, you know, wiser, is like, well, you're gonna have to, because you're the Avatar, you know? Like, you can't say, oh, I'll never do this, because you're gonna have to. Like, you're not really gonna have a choice. You have to master it in order to become a full Avatar, which is what's going to be necessary to defeat Ozai, right? So it's like, I know he doesn't want to do this, and I do think that he needs to learn water and earth first, but I think that hopefully by the time he gets back to fire, he'll be a little bit wiser and make a little bit better of choices regarding it.
Which, speaking of Ozai, we saw in the beginning of this episode, they went to the Fire Day Festival.
Yeah, the little puppet was supposed to be Ozai.
Yeah, and we saw some kids enjoying a puppet show.
Some propaganda happening.
Some serious wartime propaganda, and...
you know what it reminded me of? And probably just because I saw Game of Thrones first, you know? The play that Arya's watching in Bravos, where... like, Ned is portrayed as the bad guy, and Cersei and Joffrey are portrayed as, like, the good guys and stuff. And that is what it is. When you're the one in power, you are going to make your enemies look as bad as possible in order to make yourself look as good as possible. And it is actually really kind of disturbing if you think about it, because these are like little kids and they don't understand fully the hate that's being taught to them. You know what I mean? And like the puppet, like, yeah, you could say like it's just a puppet show or whatever, but the Ozai puppet killed the Earthbender. Like, he burned him to death. Like, again, it's just a puppet, but that's the message that you're telling to children, that this is okay because it's an Earthbender, and like, oh, the evil Earthbender is trying to hurt Ozai.
Yeah, and not only is it like, you know, the evil Earthbender gets what he deserves, because in that little hand puppet play there, the Earthbender was sneaking up and going to
trying
attack.
to kill Ozai.
So the Firebender was doing it in self-defense, you know? Even though they started the entire war and they've been occupying, you know, Airbender, Earthbender lands, and...
But you have to remember, history is written by the victors, so...
I don't have to remember that.
Well, these kids have to.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, you know, like, they are the perpetrators of all the bad, but as long as they're still the winners...
As long as they're still winning, they can still keep telling...
Yeah. They can
their version of events.
Spin the narrative however they want, you know. Kind of makes you wonder, like, how much history is really You know, like, in some cases it is, but, like,
No, I
it
know.
does get twisted. And
Oh, it definitely does.
I mean, just if you're
Just look at
American.
Thanksgiving.
Yeah, I was going to say, if you're American, just look at what you were taught about Thanksgiving as a child. And then look at the truth of it. And it's very,
Just
very,
look
very
at
different. It's very
Columbus and,
different. Oh, God, yeah.
you know, the Spanish conquistadors.
Or any of the founding fathers and, you know, anything they did.
Any conqueror or anyone who is on the winning side of history, it shines on them so much brighter and cleaner light than those that were defeated.
Mm-hmm. And it's very often a much cleaner, nicer light than they deserve or is warranted for them. But eventually, you know, hopefully people find out the truth, you know. Yeah. Not always, but sometimes.
Christopher Columbus could burn in hell.
I mean, I'm sure he is. There was no Zuko in this episode, which honestly always makes me kind of sad because I really like Zuko.
I enjoy Zuko. I really enjoy Iroh.
Yeah.
And their dynamic. We did have mention of Zuko, though. Mm-hmm. Aang taunting Admiral Zhao. Which, in the credits list, he's still credited as Commander Zhao.
Yeah,
because that's how he was introduced. But
Admiral Asshole, as he shall now be referred to by me. It's just so funny because it's, to me, so obvious what Aang's gonna do because your ships are made of wood, bro.
Yeah.
But
it's like, no self-control.
And he just falls right into the trap, and then Aang's like, dude.
What do you mean I lost? You haven't even fired a shot. No, I haven't. But you have.
Yeah.
I love that.
It's great. It's like, yeah, you are the harbinger of your own destruction. Is that the right word? Harbinger? I don't know how to say it. But, you know, like, you brought about your own destruction because, like, you're fucking stupid. Like, you know. And I hope we see the master guy again. Like, obviously he disappeared, so we probably will. That one, I don't, was it Che? The stoner guy? He's just like, he's just like, hey, where'd everybody go?
Oh, good joke, guys. Come on, where are you?
It's just like, although it's kind of sad because they were like, peace the fuck out. And like, they didn't tell him where they were going, which to be fair, like I would not tell that guy where I was going either, but it's
I mean,
funny.
He was the second to leave the Fire Nation and follow John.
Yeah.
Give credit to Che where credit is due. Like, he was following the Avatar.
Yeah.
And he gave him a way out when he needed it.
Yeah.
But all the problems in this episode was caused by Aang up on that stage.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, again, that was really frustrating. It's clear, like, okay, you're on a stage. Everything that is happening is theatrical. Yeah, it's a performance.
That's the point.
Like, why would you do that? That's so frustrating. It's like, this is so clearly a joke. He's like, oh, I can't control it. Like, he's not actually freaking out.
Yeah, it's not like he created this sentient monster out of only flame, and now Aang has to save Katara from it.
Yeah. It's not like he's like actually like, oh shit, like I really don't have control of this. Like, everybody in the audience starts freaking, like, everybody else, it's clear,
everybody was cheering.
This is a joke. Like, this is a performance. Yeah. Like, I feel like Aang has to be the hero, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
I mean, he has a thing for Katara. Mm-hmm. He doesn't want to see anybody get hurt, but also that goes to show how little his understanding of firebending goes.
Yeah. Aang is very frustrating sometimes because, you know, he just makes annoying decisions sometimes.
Childish decisions.
Yeah.
It was really nice seeing Avatar Roku again.
It was cool.
I love his voice. James Garrett does a great job. It's
cool, too, how he's like, he came to that guy and he's like, hey, I've learned this 1,000 times before, however many, you know, like, yeah, I'm going to learn it again. You're going to teach me. Like,
I've mastered the elements 1,000 times over 1,000 lifetimes.
Yeah. It's like, I can do it. You just have to remind me, really. Yeah. It's not even like he has to learn it. He just has to remember it. He was right in a way to deny Aang because Aang wasn't ready. You know?
No.
And he knew that. And I understand we're on a time crunch, though. So Roku's like, hey, we don't really have time for this. Like, teach him. But also, I think that, like I said, he was right, and Aang wasn't quite ready to learn it. And hopefully they can meet again when he's a little bit more ready and he can learn it. Or Zuko can join their side and then he can teach him, and then everything's fine.
I mean, one of the first things that he said to him is like, you know, you have to master water and earth before you can master fire. Because fire takes a lot of discipline, and you need to learn discipline before you can learn fire.
Yeah. And like you said, Aang doesn't really have a lot of discipline.
He has very little.
I think that's really all that I have to say about this episode, though. I liked it a lot, and I am excited to see where we go going forward from here. Appa was MVP again with his little tail flapping, and he lit that thing on fire because I was like, Appa, there's something on your tail. And he was like, don't worry, hon. I know what I'm doing with this. And he lit something on fire with it. It was funny.
So, one more thing. We saw Katara use water to heal.
Yeah.
That's one type of bending. What do you think other kind of benders can do?
What do you mean? Like, do I think, like, airbenders can do something besides just bend air, and earthbenders can do something besides
like specializations.
Maybe air could, like, control the elements, perhaps? Like, that seems like it could be possible.
What elements?
Like, could create a storm.
Oh, so not, like, the elements of creation, but, like, the elements of weather.
Yeah.
Okay.
Although maybe, like, earthbenders could, like, create something out of the earth.
Well, we saw that Boomy could create things. Like, he created platforms and stuff like that.
But I mean, like, maybe they could create, like, you came from dust, to dust you shall return.
Oh, you mean, like, create life?
Maybe. I mean, I don't know what is possible in this universe, you know. I don't know what fire could do if it's just destruction, though, you know. I don't know. I'm gonna have to think about it harder than just the time I have at the end of this episode right now, you know. Like, I'm gonna have to think about it for, like,
a week?
Yeah, probably. Or a few days at least, you know.
Well, good thing we have a week before the next episode.
True. Is there anything else?
I mean, there's so much else.
That you can say right now? That you need to say right now?
Probably not.
They feel an overwhelming urge to say at the
I have a lot of stuff that I have an overwhelming urge to say right now. But I cannot.
Alright. So I guess that is it. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. And if you're still watching at the end, like, bless you. I don't know. Thank you. You help me out a lot if you are actually still watching. That's it. Until next time. Bye, guys.
Subscribe.
Wave. See you in 2021.